estrellas de pálido azul, en tu emblema que un mar rumoroso con sus ondas bravías escuda, de un volcán tras la cima desnuda. Hay un astro de nítida luz, por dar ese emblema divino, marcharemos, oh patria, la muerte, generosa será nuestra suerte, si morimos pensando en tu amor, defendiendo tu bandera y en pliegues abiertos. Pero todos caerán con honor. ¡Que viva Honduras!
Michael Bradley wearing the captain's armband. Brad Gazan wearing the goalkeeper's jersey. Surprised by that, Jovan, or as expected?
Yeah, that's definitely as expected. He's been a leader throughout the competition, and he leads by example as well.
But as far as Gazan in for Howard, the same thing they did in the last round of World Cup qualifiers. And in fact, Bruce Arena said part of the reason was because they expected to have to kick goal kicks a lot and did not want to test the surgically repaired leg of Tim Howard. That's hopefully not the case here today as we take a look at the starting lineup. There are 7 changes here. Graham Zusi stays, but a lot of changes elsewhere.
Yeah, he did it last time around when he played against Mexico and Mexico City. I think he's bringing fresh bodies in. The conditions are going to be brutal. Beasler and Gonzalez anchor that back line. In the midfielder, Costa comes in with youth and energy, and that Dempsey with Morris up front could be lethal tonight.
And Morris is going to have to do a lot of running. Referee Joel Aguilar, the Salvadoran, assisted by Juan Sumba and William Torres down the lines. And again, refereeing was mentioned in the last game against Costa Rica, but it did seem to be a fair performance for both sides. Take a look at the starting lineups here again today. I expect to see Lozano a little bit more at the point. Kyoto sliding out to the wing, and keep an eye on Alex Lopez, the number 10.
Yeah, so they're a dangerous front four. This might tinker a little bit. They might even go 5 at the back. They did that against Mexico, but they've been confident. They're coming off a win. I expect them to be dangerous. Those front four, Lozano, Kyoto, Lopez, and Ellis, will be dangerous for them.
And anytime you have a Barcelona on your resume, even if at this point for the 24-year-old it's Barcelona B, I have a feeling Bruce Arena has a game plan for Anthony Lozano.
He definitely has some qualities trying to get in behind that back line.
Something similar to having Dortmund on your resume, like a certain Christian Pulisic and someone else. I just can't recall. Give me an idea while we have a second. What is Pulisic going through in Dortmund right now? Because especially following some of the transfers, in or out, he could be the man or he could be on the bench.
He's been the man at the moment. Super talent. Nobody has done what he's done and made an impact as a U.S. player at this age.
Mr. Aguilar gets us started, and we are underway. And you could see Honduras sprinting at that one. The ball launched long. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing because it puts the U.S. in position to press the throw in right away.
Yeah, they want to set the tone early, play that long ball in their half, try to win possession in their half.
In for Kyoto, Lozano touches it back. Honduras in the white with the blue trim. The bicolores moving from the left to the right, but now retreating, and Christian Pulisic driving towards the goal line, drawing Figueroa over, touching it in and off of Kyoto, but they're going to say off Pulisic last. A goal kick.
And that's what he does so well, Pulisic. He drives at defenders. He has no fear. He's so quick. Very confident.
Luis Lopez, still relatively new out of Real España, just his 11th cap. Donis Escobar ineligible for the last game because of yellow cards. Back today, but Jorge Luis Pinto sticking with his 23-year-old keeper. A little bit of a push on Bradley in the back. Free kick in the center circle. Off to the near side. Skips on the Dynamo winger Albert Ellis. And along with Kyoto on the other flank, two players both for the Houston Dynamo, as is DeMarcus Beasley. Well, obviously their thoughts are back in their homeland, or in the case of the Hondurans, the adopted homeland of Houston. And our thoughts and prayers go out to those affected by Hurricane Harvey and those in the path of Hurricane Irma. So hopefully over the next couple of hours, give you a chance to take your mind off of it just a bit. Brad Guzan. Different type of goalkeeper than Tim Howard.
Yeah, he's a little bit different. He does have a wealth of experience as well. Very dynamic. And you can see early in this game, they're not trying to build out of the back. This is not going to be a pretty game. They're hitting the front early.
Beasley rolling it all the way back and gets rolled in the process. Bruce Arena, along with his ever-present Dave Sarachan on the bench. Touched wide, Dempsey. Pulisic with Morris inside, back towards Dempsey, gets ahead to it, brought down by Morris. The shot bounces just wide, and all of a sudden, the U.S. showing some teeth.
And Dempsey did well there. The long ball again, they're being direct early on. Dempsey does fantastic, gets it out to Christian Pulisic. Great little layoff. And this is a great little effort here by Morris. Great effort, just didn't catch it.
And again, mentioned in the match against Costa Rica, there were some positive performances, just didn't seem to be cohesion linking any of those performances together. So it's good to see here in the opening moments the U.S. is gelling.
Yes, they are, and they're being direct early. They know this isn't going to be a pretty game with the conditions. They want to make sure they're on the front foot and the aggressor.
Take a look at our Modelo players to watch. Mentioned Ellis, the 21-year-old wing. Pulisic, the 18-year-old, soon to be 19-year-old. And disappointing performance for him. Showed flashes, but then also a little petulance.
Yeah, he's a marked man now. You could see even this. Look at this tackle here. They're on him. They're kicking him. He's going to have to work through that because he's going to be the one they're looking at.
And something that was mentioned in the pregame show. When his back is to goal, that opens up his calves for the defenders.
Yes.
They need to get him headed towards goal.
Definitely. You want him in space, taking players on.
Like this, Nagbe on this near side. His role also changing. More focused on his natural left than trying to cover the entire field in the middle. Beasley hesitates and loses possession, but a foul saves the U.S. blushes. Ryan Bekeles, another one of those players back from suspension.
I think the referees gave us one there.
Good look at Lopez, just 23 years of age. Still plays domestically at Real España, but grew up in this very town of San Pedro Sula. Here's Bradley. Ready to charge at the top of the box, and the referee Aguilar trying to make sure things don't get out of hand.
He's just trying to whip this in swinger, right over that penalty spot.
And you can see the goalkeeper ready to sprint out midway through his six, lifted up towards the edge of the six, just over the head of Matt Beasler. Pulisic over to grab it, and then rather than get kicked, just kicks it into the stands. Beasler and Gonzalez, a change of center backs after they went with two that got criticized quite a bit, Tim Ream and Jeff Cameron, in the last match. Rolled inside by Kyoto, blasted by Lopez. Interesting here, Kyoto and Ellis switching wings, something the U.S. will have to keep an eye on.
Yeah, and Beasley gets isolated out there. He knows both those players well, plays against them every day in training, so he'll know what to expect.
Good look at Jorge Luis Pinto, the Colombian, 64 years of age, a taskmaster in his reputation, and that hasn't always rubbed well. Take a look at our starting lineups, brought to you by AT&T. And right now, Pinto politicking just a bit. Bruce Arena going with Guzan in goal. Beasley on the left, Gonzalez and Beasler in the middle. Zusi on the right-hand side. Then it's Kellen Acosta joining Bradley in the middle. Pulisic, Nagbe, Dempsey, and Morris. Minor Figueroa, the veteran. Zusi wisely plays it out. The 23-year-old Lopez in goal. Bekeles, the two Figueroas, and Alvarado. Claros, Mejia, Ellis, Kyoto flanking Lopez with Lozano in the middle. Here is Kyoto trying to get the cross in and says he earned a corner kick, and the referee agrees.
And Beasley does really well there. Gets across him. A good tackle to force it out wide. But they're putting a little bit of pressure now. They're coming into the game a bit, Honduras.
Acosta keeping a close eye on Ellis. Driven outside the box, looking to lift it in. Mejia going towards the back post, but too much pushing and shoving going on, and a free kick for the U.S.
Yeah, these kind of games, there's going to be a lot of battling going on. Need to be on their men, and they do well, the U.S.
Brad Guzan. A little strategy here. Shorten the game, even in the early going.
Definitely they don't want to build out of the back. They don't want to give them any opportunity with any sloppy play like they did on Friday. They're being very direct.
Little pushing and shoving. Down goes Bradley, but no contact. Acosta returns the favor. Bradley chipping it down. A chance for Pulisic. Tries to turn, but the ball rolls wide. Play on, says the assistant. Strong challenge Figueroa, but he misses the ball. Grabs the man, and it's Jordan Morris actually out wide. And it finally crosses for the corner kick. Morris giving Figueroa all he could handle.
I just don't know how the referee doesn't call a foul. He's grabbing on a hold of Morris. Morris powerful, and he's just grabbing on to him. Figueroa, he's all over him.
You've played in CONCACAF before, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And again, as long as it's even. Bradley down on the running track. A quick step up and then the corner. Looking for the 18. Knocked down by Morris, but Beasler had stepped in, and now they'll need some cover as Honduras looks long. A chance for Ellis if it stays in. Beasley over to defend. Acosta in the middle. Ellis to the goal line. Beasley tries to ride him out and oversteps Acosta. It'll be a corner, but it could have been worse.
This is where they're so dangerous, Honduras. Ellis in particular, 1v1 when he has space. He goes right at Beasley, gets by him, and Acosta does extremely well to block it. We have to be so careful with both wide players in Kyoto and Ellis. They're so dangerous going forward.
To the 10th minute we go. Ellis, long and lanky, only 6 feet tall, actually earns his paycheck with his feet most of the time. Lopez near post. Somewhat of an awkward clearance by Dempsey. Right back to Lopez, into the middle, headed away. Looked like Morris pinching in. A throw in. No score through the opening 10. Outside of the boot, spins in on Guzan, but no one making the run. Left-footed out of danger by Guzan. Again, Pulisic trying to send it into the middle. No pressure on Omar. Something we saw in the Costa Rica match. Two players good in their own right, but there's a chemistry that needs to be developed on the back line, especially the two center backs. And while Ream and Cameron don't have a lot of experience, these two here tonight, practically 3 years full.
Yes, they've played together before. I think it's very important, especially as center backs, to know each other a little bit, to play with each other with some consistency. I think it'll help tonight.
Pulisic escorted out of grounds and no foul called. Alvarado making sure he wasn't going to get a touch. Well, there is a chance of thunderstorms before this day is over. 92 degrees. The humidity actually only about 70%, and there is a bit of a breeze.
I mean, right now, after 11 minutes, adrenaline gets you through it, but they're going to be starting to feel the heat a little bit. It'll slow down in the next 5 minutes.
Pulisic keeps it in, cuts back, looking in the middle. There's only Morris, but finds him. Kicked back by the sounder, looking to his teammate Dempsey. Dropped for Bradley, and his volley takes a strange bounce and finally smothered by Lopez. Again, with Dempsey out there, they're able to get the shots away, even though none challenging Lopez that much yet.
Dempsey's he's big, he's strong. He can head the ball as well as come underneath and link the play up. So he's a dangerous player both ways, whether it's in the box or coming underneath and being creative. He can make something in the final third.
And as a former U.S. coach said, he does have that little something nasty in the night.
Definitely does. We saw it in Costa Rica. Has to be smart though, but he has that nastiness to get him that goal in the box.
Cutting back, almost losing his footing, Beasler. Acosta and Zusi now under pressure, and the Kansas City converted right back finds his goalkeeper. Concerned a little bit with Zusi at right back?
Defensively, he's done well in MLS. In the international level, I think he's struggled a bit defensively. Going forward, he's fantastic. He has great feet, and look at him overlap here, but defensively is a concern for him.
And again, now he's caught upfield. Pulisic didn't see him in time. Bradley goes over to cover, and there is Omar Gonzalez acrobatically flying out of bounds to make sure there wasn't a break, and he actually gets the lucky bounce. See all of the fans in the stands. This is only 3:50 in the afternoon. They play in the afternoon to try and take advantage, a la Colombia, of the climate that Mother Nature has given them. But they've also, just to make sure that they have a climate of fans, have declared this a national holiday. So anyone that could get here has. And now out wide, Nagbe. One-on-one, isolated with Bekeles, but can't turn the corner. Here's Acosta. Can shoot from here, looks for the opening, chips it in. Chance at the back post for Dempsey, but well covered.
Acosta showed glimpses of why he's out there. He first played the ball out initially to Nagbe on the left, comes back in to support the play, and a delicate little chip into the back post. He's showing confidence, the young man. Great little chip in. Dempsey unlucky not to get it on the end of that one.
Again, in the last game, went with two forwards in Wood and Altidore. Altidore suspended for this match, so in some ways Bruce Arena's hands were tied, but putting Morris in, leaving Wood on the bench, and then Dempsey just kind of puts the pieces of the puzzle into a prettier picture.
Yes, he does, and Morris is physical. He's fast, great pace. He's powerful, so he is a good replacement for an Altidore.
Good look at Ellis, long and lanky on the wing, the 21-year-old. Bekeles, 10 years his senior, rolling it back, and Claros will take it all the way back to the ageless minor Figueroa. Little bit of a scramble from Figueroa. Morris putting him under pressure, but he gets it back to Lopez. Morris continues his run, but again, as we saw against Costa Rica, it's a one-man press. He needed some help, but he does get a throw in.
Yeah, he's young, he's running on his own. I don't know if you either take the whole team with you in press or you drop off and let him have it, but to be fair, he's won a throw in there for the U.S., and we have possession in their half.
Even with the top of the box, U.S. has to respect the break, so can only commit so much to the front. Dempsey, and it spins away. They'll move a little closer to the goal line and try it again.
Try to get Nagbe on the ball. He's so good in possession.
Wide for Beasley, pretty tricky in his youth. Nagbe back to Bradley, spots the run. Zusi, blinded by the sun, has to let it bounce. Now drives it in towards the 6. Awkward clearance by Figueroa. Bounces up on Ellis and then finally cleared downfield. Bradley trying to harass Lozano. Honduras not pressing much at the moment, and again you wonder, this is a 90-minute match. Maybe a little patient. Here's Ellis, drives to the top of the 6, swept away, and there is Dempsey clattered into, and it's going to be a card.
Yeah, that's a tough challenge there. Definitely a yellow card. Had his foot up.
Jorge Claros raking him along the back. Dempsey maybe making a bit more of it just to make sure the referee spots it.
Yes, a little, but you can't raise your foot up that high. I think it is a yellow card. But Honduras, they're not going to press. I think they're going to defend most of the time. They want to get out on the break. And that's where they're dangerous with Ellis on one side and Kyoto.
Dempsey, seemed like fans were getting used to him being a super sub, as we saw from the way he reacted when he came in off the bench last time. He might not be content with it at the moment, but Bruce Arena giving him the spot start here today. And if you judge the last time they played against Honduras, you can understand why, because Dempsey scored 3 and the U.S. scored 6.
He's a player who always wants to play. Yes, he was frustrated at not starting. I think in today's match he's a perfect one to come in, play off of the front.
Nice.
He can get the ball underneath.
Pops up and hits him on the hand, though. Didn't seem to be intentional, but the arm was away from the body, and now Honduras looking long. Again, testing Zusi. Kyoto lets it settle. Mejia slides to the middle. Here's Claros.
I think our defensive shape is very organized. They have their 2 blocks of 4, becoming difficult to break down.
Kyoto slams into Zusi, but did the job. Back to his goalkeeper. Now obviously Honduras may be a different caliber to Costa Rica, but this is a team that is looking to get to the World Cup for the 3rd straight time.
And for them, 3 points is a must. They need to come out and win this game. For the U.S., a tie will work, but they're going to, at some point, Honduras is going to have to come out and press a little bit more.
Same point, you wonder if they wait till the second half, maybe when the U.S. might be a little drained, because that's why they play this time of day. Last 2 times they've done it, 2013. They beat the U.S. 2-1. Of course, then they went on to take on Canada and pounded them 8-1 to earn a World Cup berth. And then back in February, it was a 2-1 win thanks to a late goal from Bengtson.
Yes, this is definitely a tough place to play, and the second half will show.
Swept back upfield. Omar left it in a little. Fans wanted a foul. The referee sees nothing.
And you could see the tone. We've already set a tone in our challenges and our tackles. It's a much different tone that we set on Friday against Costa Rica.
U.S. starting the day in 3rd. That's still a World Cup spot, as Beasley chipping it up and just wide of the net. I think he saw that upper corner gaping, although Lopez might have had it covered.
Yeah, he gets in a great area. I think he'll want to have that one back. I think he tried to cross that and whip his left foot around that ball. He was in a very good position.
See Mejia upset with the attention he was getting. U.S. throw in. Pulisic now with a little bit of space. Dances around one, still in play. Tries to cut around Alvarado and does. Kicks it back top of the box. Dempsey tries to bring it down. Lifted up, looking for a whistle, and he's not going to get it. And now the other way, Honduras. It's Lopez who scored in their victory. Zusi again isolated. You can see Jorge Luis Pinto picking on the U.S. right back.
You can see when Pulisic gets that ball, he's dangerous, taking players on. Every time he has a chance, he goes at him, and nearly came off there.
Again, sometimes at this level you only get half a chance, but over the years Dempsey's done a lot with half chances. In fact, his 41st World Cup qualifying appearance, which pulls him away above Landon Donovan to the top spot on that list.
Such a great finisher, and especially in big moments.
Mejia this time does get the whistle.
That's not a foul in CONCACAF.
Referee maybe needed a break. Driven low in towards the penalty spot. Almost snuck through. Acosta. Deft for Pulisic, but double teamed as well. Pulled away by Lopez, and that gets the fans involved. Alvarado towards Beasley. Deflects it away from Ellis. 8 points for both of these teams, although an 8-goal differential. Sliding to the inside, Bekeles favoring his right foot exclusively, which allows Acosta to steal it away. Bradley cutting back into a double team, but saved by the whistle. The concern, by the way, wrapping up the standings, is the fact that Panama right behind. And if they do get the expected win tonight against Trinidad, won't be easy, but they are the favorites. And they're only 2 goals back in the differential for the U.S., and that would mean the tiebreaker would go their way. Yeah, that 6 goals we scored against Honduras is crucial. I think that's why today a point is a must. Minimum, a point is a must. Hard challenge going in, and that's going to be a card against Figueroa. Again, Dempsey causing problems, and Honduras responding with fouls. This is a tough challenge. Yes, that's definitely a yellow card. Comes in right through him, right behind him. Tough tackle. By the way, taking a look at players that are in danger of missing the next match. For the U.S., it would be the home match against Panama and Orlando. Honduras going to Costa Rica. Dempsey, Bradley, Beasler among those that are on the field. Cameron, Arreola, and Bedoya, those who are off the field, just 1 card away from a suspension. For Honduras, Claudos already has 1, which means he would miss the match at Costa Rica. Ellis, Disqua, Minor Figueroa, Mejia, Palacios, and Morazon also in danger. Bradley making the run. Gonzalez lifted high, back post, and an easy grab for Lopez. Well defended by the back line. This is where we have to take advantage of those set pieces with Omar Gonzalez's height. Michael would love to have a better ball in there. Zusi caught ball watching a bit. Ellis on that flank likes to cut to his right, drives it low, and smothered by Gazan. Ellis, every time he gets in those positions, he's dangerous, whether on the right or left. This time comes inside and gets a shot off, gets that half a yard, doesn't hit it well, and Guzan makes the save. It's like the early rounds of a boxing match. The two sides just trading punches. No haymakers at the moment, but it is early. Omar Gonzalez trying to get the touch but couldn't. Kyoto, 5 years Ellis's junior, but very dangerous on the flanks. Boniek Garcia, the prior generation, available on the bench. Again, Zusi caught upfield. Ellis with a little time. 2 in the box for Honduras. Looking across, and Kyoto was there. Beasley got beaten. Honduras looking for a foul, but a golden opportunity missed high. And it's Ellis and Kyoto, the 2 danger men. Beasley does a tremendous job, sees him inside, and that's a brave header by Beasley. The other thing to look for here, Jovan, is watch Lozano as he pulls Beasler away. They had Beasley isolated one-on-one. And he does a tremendous job, Beasley. Shows his experience, and that's a brave header. He puts his head down where he knows the player's going to go for it. He saves a goal there. But he pays the price. Pinto not happy that the referee did not see a foul, but this would be a big blow for the United States to have to use a substitution this early. And again, getting back to the way that play was generated, it was dumping it into the corner. Nothing fancy about it, but they caught Graham Zusi watching and created a golden chance. Yeah, Graham Zusi was caught going forward. Ellis, a 1-2, got in behind, and both Kyoto and Ellis, they've been swapping sides, and they're dangerous every time they get the ball. We have to be careful with that. The U.S. team does. Taking advantage of the break, the team's getting some water. Substitutes loosening up in Fabian Johnson and Jorge Villafana. As we look at the live standings, the U.S. and Honduras would both be at 9. Again, Costa Rica, Mexico following later today. Panama and Trinidad as well. Check out beInSports.com for more. This is a forgiving group, and I know I'm not the first to say it, and I won't be the last, the way the hex is set. Although now with the expansion of the World Cup, no one really knows how World Cup qualifying will be affected. But just 2 wins for the U.S. in their first 7 matches, and they are still favored to get in.
Yeah, it is a forgiving group, definitely. Once you get into this last 6, there's every chance that the U.S. should get in with the quality they have.
And based upon today's results, even a 4th place finish, but that might be a little bit more difficult, if not from a footballing perspective, a political one, as Syria and Australia, the 2 teams that will be fighting it out for that 5th place spot from Asia.
Yes, and those will be difficult tests for them.
27th minute, all but done. Looking for that gap, well covered by Omar. Reaches back though. Lozano has it, tucks it around, off the post and in. Goal for Honduras.
Lozano does
and it was Kyoto who cuts across, and the United States in even deeper trouble.
Great play by Honduras, coming in behind the back line, behind Zusi. Omar will want to have that tackle back. He comes in early, he slides in. What a finish. Kyoto with a fantastic finish.
So Kyoto gets the goal, his 7th for his national team. Gonzalez was forced to scramble over, and I think the pass was a little faster than he thought. Did not have the angle.
It's a terrific ball in. He makes a slide. He's unlucky there not to catch the ball, but he needs to do better there. He needs to win it.
Could he have tried to tackle it earlier? Regardless, that's going to be broken down on the film. And again, it's the central defense for the United States that's proven to be the weakness.
He could have maybe hit that ball earlier, but it's a terrific ball in, and what a fantastic finish. A great finish.
Credit to Honduras. They are in front, and the United States road to Russia just got a little bumpier.
Now it becomes very difficult. We had a decent enough start, had everything in front of us, but they were starting to get in the game with Kyoto and Ellis getting in behind.
Gonzalez sweeps it over to Beasler. A little soft pass, but Gazan will get there. Has to stretch. Doesn't get all of it, and Honduras at the midfield stripe. Now, from a Pinto perspective, if you're Honduras now, lay back and counter, because again the tiebreakers still favor the U.S.
I think 3 points is crucial for them. I think they play more conservative and they do defend, because now it draws the U.S. team out, and now they can hit them again.
And from a U.S. perspective, how much do you put on the table, not just in the game, but say for the rest of this first half?
I think you can't panic now. It's 1-0. A draw is good enough. A point will be good on the road. I think you go into halftime, try to keep it at 1-0 and go from there. 1-1 is a good result.
And again, even with a Panama victory over Trinidad at the end, the United States would only fall to 4th, still with that tiebreaker advantage. And the U.S. faces Panama head-to-head on home soil in October before they close out on the road in Trinidad. And I know many people thinking taking on the basement dwellers of the Hex would be an easy way to close it out, but I remember another time when the U.S. played its last qualifying game in Trinidad, and I think they probably want some revenge. Again, Kyoto playing provider just in front of Lozano and just missing the cleats of Ellis, who continues to run. The United States standing still as Honduras in overdrive. Lozano the touch, Kyoto the volley, and the United States flat-footed.
And that's Kyoto again down that left side against Zusi, one-on-one, taking advantage, getting to the end line, getting a cross in. But it's amazing now. They have a lot of momentum. They get the goal, and the fans are involved. Ellis and Kyoto have been so dangerous.
And again, the United States, where was Darlington Nagbe on that? You see Bradley coming over to cover. You saw Costa covering the middle. Another water break. This one more officially, as again the temperature above 90. But Albert Ellis had all the time in the world to go over and pick up that loose ball and create another chance.
Yeah, you could see the conditions are really coming into play now. that adrenaline gets you going that first 10-15 minutes, but now you could see not tracking back.
And you see Pinto barking at his young goalkeeper, and I think that probably has something to do with distribution. And as he goes immediately towards his striker, Anthony Lozano, I think he thinks he can catch the United States napping and maybe even sneak a second. But take another look.
It's a terrific weighted ball in. He goes in for the tackle. He's unlucky, and that's a terrific finish. But that weighted ball in was brilliant ball in.
Jorge Luis Pinto brought in for just this moment. Of course, I guess you could say the same thing for Bruce Arena, although his was a bit more of a salvage job. So much weighing on his shoulders as the captain on the road when the ship seems to be taking on water.
I think now you need to just regroup, focus. It's only 1-0. You're still in it. A draw is good. Get through this storm right now and try to get a hold of the ball, get some possession.
And they did have a few early chances, although nothing really testing the Honduran keeper. And I guess one advantage, as good as Luis Lopez is, he's no Keylor Navas, at least not yet. Just over a dozen minutes remain in this opening half. Credit as well to Alexander Lopez, who dropped deep into the midfield to thread that pass through and then find Kyoto. 1-0 Honduras. Now, one advantage from the United States, if history is to be a guide, no shutouts for Honduras in the Hex. So their opposition tends to score. As you said, the United States needs to be patient. Ellis lays it back. Claros pushes forward, and Beasler whistled for the foul just outside the area.
And Honduras now playing with confidence, keeping possession. Good little combination play, great ball in.
That's the right back, Bekelis, pushing forward, and a little trickery.
And that was a foul, yeah. That's a free kick.
Because he knew either he's getting to that one or he's going to get a free kick. And Minor Figueroa, if you remember seeing him, especially in his younger days, and I'm sure a few Dallas fans know right now, has a cannon for a leg.
And it's a very dangerous position for a left-footed player. Whether he crosses it in with an in-swinger or takes a shot on goal.
Approaching the 35th minute. Gonzalez keeping an eye on Ellis. There's Lopez, the playmaker. And it will be Lopez driving it high, and the adrenaline catching all of that one.
Yeah, he wasted that one. A little bit too far, too hard. Gets it too high, he'll want that one back. I'd like to see the U.S. get some more possession, get the ball down and try to get a hold of the ball.
Would building from the back be the first part of that recipe?
I think you win that second ball and try to play on their end, but you have to win that second ball.
Skips away from Dempsey. Honduras has it at their feet again. Up to Lozano, who's dropped back into the midfield, allowing the wings to push forward. Almost a false nine, although the U.S. center backs staying deep. The Olays peter out as Bekelis can't control. It looks like they might have mowed the ground a little bit.
Yeah, the ball seems to be moving okay from up here, but on the field it's not good.
It was a thick, heavy grass, according to Bruce Arena, and even with all the rain, it does seem to be kicking up in clumps at times. Pulisic again being forced to try and win a ball in the air. Morris challenging. Skips away from Beasley, and he cannot afford to let Ellis off. And he's going to go in the book. Again, Albert Ellis's trickery causing problems.
A great turn, and Beasley had no choice. Had to take him down. Professional foul. But the U.S. seems they can't get a hold of the ball. They can't get possession. They need to get a hold of the game, make a few passes, try to try to slow the game down, but keep possession.
Again, beautiful touch from Ellis. You can only imagine how good he's going to get as he continues to mature. Pinto at the bottom of the screen politicking the fourth official. Ellis waited the extra touch, and it carries out of play, fortunately for the U.S.
And they just keep going to Ellis and Kyoto, trying to expose that space in behind the fullbacks, and they've been successful at it pretty much the whole first half.
Tim Howard with groin surgery last winter, and again against Costa Rica, some of those clearances, some of those goal kicks, not the same forceful nature we're used to seeing. Same reason that they put Brad Guzan in at Azteca, same reason they put him out here today. But Bruce Arena saying he is fully confident Howard will be ready next year.
But either or, if you have Guzan or Howard, they provide experience. They're very good goalkeepers. I don't think you can be hurting with either one.
And it was an interesting comment from Arena, though, when asked about Nick Raimondo, who I would have faith in, but at his age, maybe not your normal third keeper. And Bruce said he would have considered a younger keeper if he thought he would still be in the job after 2018. He's not taking that for granted. His eyes firmly focused on the World Cup.
Yes, he brought an experienced group. He had an experienced roster. He needs to win now. He needs points now. So it's important for him to win every game he can.
Alvarado up the line. Kyoto fakes, drives to Lozano. And again, almost Hidakuti-like, dropping into the midfield and providing a pivot. Ellis. The United States is letting Honduras dictate.
They're in full control now. They've had possession. They're dictating play. They're definitely on the front foot. They have confidence. You can see them moving the ball from side to side.
So how do you turn it around? Against Costa Rica, there was maybe an absence of physicality from the U.S. That's not necessarily the case here today.
We need to get a hold of the ball and keep possession, not just clear it away. Somebody needs to hold the ball, as Dempsey does here.
Beasley to Dempsey, but then he misses Pulisic. Up steps Alvarado to his right, in for Lozano, looking for a gap, wide for Ellis. Alvarado staying forward, snaps it down off the face of Omar, and the U.S. will take it. Here's Nagbe, who hasn't even seen a picture of the ball probably for the last 5 minutes.
Both Pulisic and Nagbe, with possession, will get them the ball a lot more. Trying to get it side to side, but we're not getting hold of the ball.
Challenging Acosta. That's something that needs to happen. Nagbe draws the foul, and maybe, just maybe, things about to tip. Acosta getting up slowly. And you could see the referee saying, use your head. A little fortunate not to go in the book.
But again, you're away from home. It's 1-0. You have to be positive. You get a goal back. 1-1 is a good result.
Dempsey back to Gonzalez. 6 minutes remain in this opening half. Gonzalez looking long. Pulisic brings it down, has Morris, but that's it. Now waiting for the trailing run. Dempsey outside of the boot. Nagbe spots the corner, but can't quite turn it.
And Pulisic does really well there. He takes a first touch, a great first touch. I thought he would go to goal, bring somebody into play there. It was Dempsey who played it out to Nagbe. We thought he'd do better there, maybe take him on 1v1.
Five minutes remain in this opening half. An equalizer would be nice before the break, but preventing Honduras from adding a second. Job number one at the moment. Kyoto bent in towards Claros. Scoops it near side Bekeles, right in front of their coach. Beasley staying back. Again, Honduras with the lead, content. Dempsey, Morris, here's Bradley with an avenue. Pulisic, Bekeles over to try and slow him down. Off to Morris, making the run. Pulisic in the box, but out comes Lopez to knee it away.
Terrific play by Pulisic again, getting the ball deep, committing defenders, going at people. A great opportunity there for Morisari. You could see Pulisic making something really out of nothing. The keeper does well, Lopez.
Beasler again. Stick around the Ford halftime show. Interesting to hear what Carlos Bocanegra and Jimmy Conrad have to say, as well as Ali, in regards to defending. Maybe not a gaping wound like it was against Costa Rica, but Omar Gonzalez is not going to want to see the tape.
And in possession, Pulisic, you could see him coming inside, looking for the ball.
Ellis with a little space. Ellis in the center if he can find him. Thought the run would continue. Bradley tracking all the way back. And the U.S. will get a throw in near midfield with 3 minutes left in the half.
And those are the opportunities they're going to get. Pulisic coming inside, finding space with the ball to run at the defenders. It's a great opportunity.
Surprised by any of this?
I think after the goal, momentum definitely swung in favor of Honduras. They really got some confidence, and they're keeping the ball. They're on the front foot, but the U.S. at any moment, Pulisic could come up with a play to get back in this game.
But again, they need to put the ball in the ground. He's won a few of his share, but the longer the ball's in the air, the more time it gives the defense to close around him. High in the air from Beasler. Acosta challenging, but won by Mejia. Rosano now pushes to the front line. Ellis splits, drives, kissed back, upended by Acosta. Not much there, as Ellis just seemed to lose his balance, and Acosta barking at the ref isn't going to make it any better.
Not sure about this one. Acosta comes in
from that angle.
Ellis comes into him. They did connect. You could give it, but normally in CONCACAF they don't. A great position here as well for Honduras. Edge of the box.
Almost dead on. Gazan, maybe not the luxury of picking one side or the other, just tilting a little bit towards his left. Not using the power of Figueroa, or will they? They will. Cannon shot for the corner, and Gazan gets his hands up in time.
And what a strike that was. Figueroa just smashes that into the... It was the middle of the goal, but still, Guzan had to react.
And you see, they left that little alleyway through. Gazan had a feeling it could be coming and was actually in good position to defend. You see what a weapon Honduras has at its disposal. Final minute of regulation ticking away. Honduras pushing for a second. Out comes Gazan, sure hands, looking for a break, but the U.S. taking its time. 4 games in the Gold Cup back in July for Honduras, and Honduras unable to get on the scoreboard. Well, they got a couple in their last match against Trinidad, a couple more in the match prior to that against Panama, and they have the first goal here tonight. Bradley, Nagbe seemed to get caught between his feet. Beasley pushing forward. Quickly, Bekelis back. 2 minutes added, and Beasley sees it trickle out into touch.
The U.S. team, they make 2 or 3 passes and they lose the ball. They need to try to keep more possession, especially in their half, to try to create chances and isolate Pulisic.
And that one cleared out right near midfield. Pinto muttering to himself. Morris got off to a quick start, but you can see the frustration. Good step up by Beasler to win it back. Nagbe to Dempsey, but cleared away by Figueroa. Now Ellis looking long, but Lozano was offside and he knew it.
The U.S. is forcing the play a little bit instead of coming around the back and keeping the ball just to have a little bit more possession. They're trying to force it.
Out wide, Pulisic in a triangle of defenders. Tries to get around Alvarado, who reaches in, and the Olympia defender plucks it away. Back comes Zusi. Beasler all the way on that far side, keeps it in play. Pulisic again, finding a little pocket. Switches for Morris, just high enough, and Lopez bravely out. And now Ellis. He thought it was shoulder to shoulder, as do the 30,000 plus here. But Nagbe draws the free kick. And this, if they hurry, might be one final chance. And it looks like the referee Aguilar will let them.
And this is a good opportunity to get Omar Gonzalez and Beasler in the box. Needs to be a ball in swinging ball, try to get the keeper out a little bit.
Maybe the last play, probably the last play of the half. The U.S. with 5 players in the box, looking in the middle, but over Gonzalez, over everyone. And the first half is over. 1-0 Honduras, the goal from Kyoto, and the half ends with a whimper. But there's still more to come, including at the extra. And let's go to Kevin Egan for more.